The results are in from last night's Super Tuesday with Hillary Rodham Clinton and Donald Trump dominating the night, leading many experts to say that this 2016 presidential race will be between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump facing off against each other to be president of the United States. But in this video, I wanted to talk about Donald Trump. Is he a man of the people who will bring significant change to this country and go against the status quo, go up against the establishment and make a significant difference in this country? Or is he just another authoritarian dictator vying for more power and control for himself selfishly? Now, many people have been for Donald Trump, mainly because the people who are against him are deplorable. If you look at the people waging war against Donald Trump, it is bankers, it is members of the Council on Foreign Relations, it is neoconservatives, it is the Bush crime family and Barack Obama who are going up against Donald Trump. Even globalist insider Larry Summers said that Trump is a serious threat to American democracy. But if you look at Larry Summers, the man who got rid of Glass-Steagall, the man who helped engineer the 2008 financial crisis, this man does not give a damn about you, and he is primarily responsible for the banker takeover of this country that we are all suffering from still. This man does not give a damn about you. But let's look at Trump's stance. Trump is totally against neoconservative ideology. He denounced the war in Iraq. He wants to remain neutral on the Israeli-Palestine conflict. He is saying intrinsic truths. He doesn't want to get bogged down inside of Syria. He wants to sit back, let the situation unfold, and not have more military conflicts, more war with United States and the world. He is saying really complex truths, like the fact that Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi, if they were still in power, the Middle East and the world would be a lot better off. And this is completely true. It was the neoconservative doctrine who got rid of these dictators in the Middle East. And because of that, because of this vacuum of power, because of the United States sending money and weapons to rebels, we have financed our very own worst enemy, ISIS. And Trump is the only presidential candidate who is in favor of Vladimir Putin, who is in favor of Russia bombing and getting rid of ISIS. Our government, who claims their main objective is to get rid of ISIS, is not for this. But Trump is the only presidential candidate who's saying it's great that Russia is destroying ISIS. This was supposed to be our goal. Let them do it. He wants to cut military spending, and because of that, all the neoconservatives are shaking in their boots because their main money supply, the military-industrial complex, is threatened by Donald J. Trump. He also came out and said that he wants the 28 pages declassified from the 9/11 investigation. This is an extremely important document that has been classified by George W. Bush and by Barack Obama, kept classified by him, and it shows a direct link with Saudi Arabia having a direct involvement in the 9/11 attacks. Donald Trump went on national television and said that George Bush knew about 9/11. He let 9/11 happen. Huge, complex truths exposed to the American public that were viewed as unpopular. He is getting that important information out there to the people. He also stands behind auditing our quasi-private Federal Reserve banking system. He wants more accountability. He wants more transparency. One of the few candidates running now who is willing to make this hugely important stance to get our dollar, to get our economic system right with full transparency, with full truth, going up against the banksters who have been looting and colluding and lying and manipulating our economic system for their very own benefit. Donald Trump wants some transparency in this region, and that's why many libertarians, many people on the outside, many people even in the alternative media have been supporting Donald J. Trump. Now, let me take you on a different version of Donald J. Trump and show you some of the controversial issues he has been involved in that prove that he is just an authoritarian dictator. Donald Trump has publicly said that he wants to open up libel laws. He says he will do this in order to make it easier for people to sue reporters, utterly destroying the First Amendment, bogging down our freedom of expression for selfish reasons, making sure that our Bill of Rights, that our way, our First Amendment, our most important right will be bogged down in court. This is an extremely selfish, authoritarian move by Donald J. Trump. He also wants to boycott Apple because Apple refused to unlock its phone to the FBI, and he is standing in the FBI's corner on this very important argument that's happening right now. And even Congress is telling the FBI it cannot do this. The FBI has made many, many mistakes when it comes to this case, and they want more power, they want more control, they want more access to your private information, they want a backdoor, and Donald Trump is for that. He is with Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz when it comes to spying on you and the NSA surveillance. He wants to reauthorize the Patriot Act. He wants the NSA to collect private information on you. And when you look at the NSA spying program, this is a program that has been abused. This is a program that destroys your right to privacy. This is a program that has not been used to stop terrorism, as the government claims. This has been a program used to get more power and control for the government, and Donald Trump is in favor of supposed more security, more spying, more destruction of your civil liberties. And of course, when the NSA, they primarily want godlike powers, knowing everything you are doing. They want to collect all the information, and even many experts on the inside say this is an extremely corrupted program that's being abused by the people in power. When it comes to torture, Donald Trump is for waterboarding, and he says if it doesn't work, they deserved it anyway, which is an extremely inhumane stance, an extremely slippery slope that violates international human rights. A lot of people who have been caught up in the U.S. government's torture program have been found innocent, and those people's lives were ruined. When we become our very worst enemy, when we torture people, torture is ineffective anyway. Everyone knows this. Everyone in the military knows that the threat of torture works, but actual torture leaves people to say anything and to false confessions. Everyone knows this, but for some reason Donald Trump is in favor of waterboarding, is in favor of torturing people. Now, the people behind RonPaul.com and many other libertarians are endorsing Donald Trump for the previous important facts and stances that I mentioned before. But Ron Paul himself is saying that Donald Trump is just another authoritarian, which brings to this large paradox that many people find themselves in. Do we support Donald Trump? Do we not support Donald Trump? And I hope in this video I was able to show you the two competing sides that prove both sides are right on this important issue. It's also important to know how our electoral system works. With the delegates, with the way the system is set up, it is set up to be rigged by the establishment. We're seeing that with what's happening in the Democratic side of the elections, with Bernie Sanders sometimes virtually tying Hillary Clinton, but Hillary Clinton still having a significant lead with the establishment because of delegates and superdelegates that she has behind her, obviously screwing over Bernie Sanders in the system. Now, many people in the establishment are saying that there should be a similar ploy to get rid of Donald Trump, and they could do that because we know the whole electorate system is rigged. You don't even vote for the president. The Electoral College votes for the president, but there's people in the establishment who are saying that all these candidates should be in against Donald Trump, and if they get 372 delegates with all the other candidates, they could have a brokered convention against Donald Trump's 316 delegates, and they could rally behind one person and get rid of all the victories that Donald Trump is having now. The establishment is now talking about potentially cheating Donald Trump out of this election because he is such a threat to them. But the game is rigged. If you look, even within the DNC, we have ex-DNC officials saying that they are warning to break away from Clinton. Clinton, the game is rigged in her favor. Mainstream media does not bring up her controversy. Social media, like Twitter, block hashtags that criticize her. All the power establishment elites, including the neoconservatives, are switching towards Hillary Rodham Clinton. The game is rigged. The Electoral College decides it anyway. And even if that doesn't matter, they have electronic voting fraud, which you could see this very critically important video in the description below, detailing just how elections could be rigged by the very establishment, which leads me to the greater fact: does voting even matter? And the question to you: Are you for Donald Trump? Do you see him as a man of the people, or do you see him as an authoritarian? Let me know in the comment section below. This is an extremely divisive issue. This is an extremely complex issue. But hopefully in this video we brought you some clarification on just the man he is, about how they rigged the elections, and how the establishment is pretty much deciding who will be the next president of the United States. What will happen? Will there be a brokered convention? Is he a part of the establishment? Is he against the establishment? Is he just playing coy? Is he just making false promises? Let me know in the comment section below, because this is an extremely complex issue to get to, and we can only do that with proper communication and discussing this issue together. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you again so much for donating and keeping real independent media free for you and by you. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to have a lot more information coming here your way on youtube.com/wearechange.